In this series I cover the maximum core population of every single country that exists in Hearts of Iron 4, and today's letter is letter T. We start off strong today with Tahiti. Tahiti is one of the most disconnected nations in the world. They start by coring the states of New Caledonia and Nendo right here, as well as Tahiti all the way here, with a starting core population of about 163,000 people. The second fun fact about Tahiti, by default they're not aligned and their leader is a woman. Anyway, to get maximum possible cores as Tahiti, you simply have to unite Polynesia, and for that you have to occupy New Zealand, as well as Samoa, Hawaii, Caroline Islands, Guam, Saipan, as well as Tahiti, but you already have that. And then you'll be able to unite Polynesia. At the end of the day, you're gonna core all of these states, from the Easter Island all the way in the east to Taiwan in the west, with a core population of 7.25 million people. Our next country is Tanutuva. Tanutuva is a starting nation with smallest population in the game of only 85,000 people. However, their core population could be greatly increased, because they can form not one but two formables. If they control the states of Buryatia, Chita, as well as Kolyma, Verkhoyansk, Udachny, Yakutsk, as well as Dudinka, then they'll be able to form a Siberian state. Given the cores on all of these states. If they control the states of Magnitogorsk, Chelyabinsk, Sverdlovsk, Zlatoust, Perm, as well as the northern Urals, then they'll be able to push to the Urals. Also, they control Vladivostok, Khabarovsk, North Sakhalin, Birobizhdan, Amur, Nikolaevsk, Okhotsk, Magadan, as well as Chukotka, Chukchi Peninsula, and Kamchatka. They'll be able to integrate the Far East. And finally, if they control South Sakhalin, Hokkaido, and Kuril Islands, they'll be able to liberate the Ainu. After, they simply have to occupy all of Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, Tajikistan, and Kyrgyzstan. They'll be able to unite the Turks. Give them cores on all of these states, and also give them cores on all of Xinjiang. At the end of the day, Tanutuva cores all of this with a maximum core population of 47.35 million people. Our next country is Tanzania. At the start of the game, Tanzania cores only one state, which is one of the most populated states in all of Africa, with a core population of 5.3 million people. It's one of the most populated ones mainly because other countries got split up into multiple states, like the neighboring Kenya, for example. Anyway, Tanzania can increase its maximum core population. For that, they have to occupy Uganda and these three states of Kenya, after which they'll be able to form East Africa. After controlling Rwanda and Burundi, they'll be able to integrate Rwanda-Urundi. Controlling the states of Zambezia, Mozambique, and Malawi, they'll be able to dominate the Lake Malawi. If they conquer the Comoro Islands, they'll be able to click on Conquer the Comoros decision. Control the state Sidama will give them option to click on Liberate the Sidama decision. And at the end of the day, if they conquer all of the Somalia's core states, which are roughly these states, they'll be able to unite the Somalis. At the end of the day, Tanzania cores all of these states with a maximum core population of 24.69 million people. My most favorite thing about this formable is, I said it 50 times, I'm gonna say it again, they only have one factory in Nairobi. Our next country is Taimeria. At the start of the game, Taimeria cores the states of Dudinka and Katangsky in northern Siberia, with a core population of only 22,000 people. For some reason, the capital is Dudinka, although this state only contains like 1/4 of this country's population. Anyway, this country's core population can be greatly increased, and the only way they can do it is if they form a Siberian state. In order to form it, they have to control the state of Dudinka, which they already do at the start of the game. Plus, on top of that, they have to control all of the Saka's cores, which are basically the states of Udachny, Verkhoyansk, Kolyma, as well as Yakutsk. And of course, let's not forget that they have to control the states of Buryatia and Chita. And if they control these states, they'll be able to form a Siberian state. Once again, giving them cores on these states, and once again, just like Tanutuva, they'll be able to integrate the Far East, push to the Urals, and liberate the Ainu. At the end of the day, their cores look like this, with a maximum core population of 27.47 million people, which you might think is bad, but it's nowhere nearly as bad as our next country. Our next country is Gambia. Why is Gambia next? Why is it on this part? Well, because its official name is The Gambia. At the start of the game, The Gambia only cores the state of Gambia, which is an enclave with a core population of a bit less than 200,000 people. This is one of the least populated nations in all of Africa. I think the only one which has less people is Equatorial Guinea. Also, another fun fact, they have exact same number of victory points as Equatorial Guinea. Two provinces, one of which has 1 victory point, the other one has no victory points. Anyway, unfortunately, no matter what you do as the Gambia, you cannot increase your core population, which means your maximum core population is 199,700 and something people. One fun fact, nothing to do with Gambia, but Guinea has half the population of Guinea-Bissau. This makes no sense. However, what also makes no sense is Tibet. At the start of the game, Tibet has 3 states with a core population of 3.72 million people. Fun fact, they're one of the countries whose capital state is not the most populated one, and these two states have exact same population of roughly 1 million people. No matter what you do as Just kidding. You can actually increase your core population as Tibet, believe it or not. Basically, at the start of the game, the state of Xikang, which is owned by China, is cored by you. And if you conquer it, you can achieve your maximum core population as Tibet, which is 4.09 million people. I was saying that Tibet makes no sense because China doesn't core it, although they core Xinjiang, which is even further away from being Chinese. Our next country is Tigray. Tigray is, I believe, by territory, roughly the smallest country in all of Ethiopia, and they start by only coring the state of Tigray, which is also claimed by Eritrea, with a core population of about 1 million people. However, they can greatly increase it. Let's not forget that Focus, Crowning of the Negusa Nagant, which I'm talking about for like 10th time so far, can give you cores on all of Ethiopia's cores. Let's not forget that if Ethiopia goes for one of the two communist paths, they'll be able to go for the organization of the African Unity, and eventually the African Union Focus. This will let them core all of Africa, and it's not even that time consuming. I have found a way with which they can actually do it in like 1940s. Anyway, Ethiopia can core all of these states through the African Union formable. Plus on top of that, if they own the state of Palestine, and if they're either fascist or non-aligned, they'll be able to core it by making Jerusalem the capital of the state. If after this Tigray would conquer Ethiopia, making sure to control all of their core states, they'll be able to finish crowning of the Negusa Nagant Focus. This will remove all those cores from Ethiopia, and instead they're going to become the cores of Tigray. At the end of the day, they're going to core all of these states with a maximum core population of well-known 151.1 million people. Our next country is Togo. At the start of the game, Togo only cores the state of, you guessed it, Togo, with a core population of 1.1 million people. It's yet another West African nation which, no matter what it does, cannot increase its core population. I just hope that Paradox eventually adds West Africa formable, just like we now got East Africa formable. It wouldn't be so historically accurate or realistic, but it would be cool at least. Yeah, Dahomey and Togo are really interesting nations. Dahomey has a nice chicken leg shape, and Togo has a nice color. Our next country is Transylvania. At the start of the game, Transylvania cores 5 states, 4 of which are in Romania, and one of them is also in Yugoslavia, with a core population of 6.14 million people. Unfortunately, once again, no matter what you do as this country, you cannot increase your core population, but oh my god, this guy has a funny name. Among some other interesting things, they have a non-aligned leader, Yuliu Manu. As far as I'm aware, he's not generic, he's always here. Besides that, their capital is also Brasov, despite both Timișoara and Cluj being bigger victory points. Also, they probably have some of the most diverse advisors in the game. They got Hungarian and Romanian advisors, and not only that, we also got some Germans too. As you can see right here, there is Adolf Schweidel. I'm gonna be honest with you, I never saw this portrait before. I'm telling you, these names are so cursed. Look at this guy, his name is Miklos Dumitrescu. Our next country is not as disappointing, and it's actually Tunisia. Fun fact, recently they got a buff and they got tons of steel now. Anyway, Tunisia started by coring the 2 states of Tunisia as well as Gapes, with a core population of 2.41 million people. Anyway, Tunisia can actually increase its core population, because they can restore Al-Andalus. In order to form Al-Andalus, they need to control all of these states, and if they form them, they're gonna core all of Portugal's as well as Spain's starting core states. If they control all of Morocco, as well as all the Algerian and Libyan non-impassable states, they'll be able to restore the Sultanate of Africa, giving them cores on all of these states. If they control Sicily, Malta, Crete, Dodecanese, as well as Cyprus, they'll be able to restore the Emirate of Sicily, which will also give them cores on Sardinia and Corsica. Plus on top of that, if they control all of these states, unfortunately having to control Socotra as well, they'll be able to recreate the Umayyad Caliphate. Plus on top of that, if they control Eastern Anatolia and all of Caucasus, they'll be able to do the northern expansion, coring all of these states. And if they control all of Iran, all of Afghanistan, and all of Pakistan, they'll be able to do the Rashidi expansion, which will then course on all of these states, as well as the southern Kashmir as well. At the end of the day, their cores look like this, with a maximum core population of 142.5 million people. And our last country of today is Turkey. Turkey starts a core population of 14.55 million people, with a slightly smaller population than Czechoslovakia. That's because, as of Battle for the Bosporus, they do not core 4 states in the southeastern Turkey. Anyway, to get maximum possible cores as Turkey, you do not go for Turan ambitions. Instead, what you want to do is go for the Ottoman Empire path. In other words, you have to go for the Montreux Convention, fully integrate the Ish Bank, ratify the 6 arrows, and do these focuses on the left side of the focus tree. In the election, you have to pick the Demokrati Party and make sure that they win. Now, because I rushed the focuses and used commands here, it's kind of bugged, but this focus should change from looking outwards to purge the Kemalist officers. That will lead you to the civil war, and then the Ottoman loyalists will offer support. You have to say yes, and after that you'll be able to do pivot to the past. After that you purge the Kemalists, restore the Divan, do rebuilding our nation, and then the Sultan returns. After the Sultan returns, you can either press the Austro-Hungarian claim or rejoin the Central Powers. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. After you go for the reclaiming the Fallen Empire, decisions will appear right here. which will let you core some more land. By restoring the Vilayet of Halep, you're gonna core all of Syria's cores. Restoring the Vilayet of Beirut will give you cores on Lebanon as well as Palestine and Jordan, while restoring the Vilayet of Baghdad is gonna give you cores on all of Iraq. If you control North Sudan as well as all of Egypt, you'll be able to integrate the Khedivate of Egypt, giving you cores on all of these states. While coring all of the non-impassable states of Libya will let you restore the Vilayet of Tripolitania. Interesting, you have to control these impassable states, but you don't have to control this one. You also get to core these two, but you don't get to core this one. Also, if you control northern Algeria and Tunisia, you'll be able to absorb the Tunis and Algerian Vilayets, giving you cores on these 5 states right here. Plus, on top of that, if you control all of Saudi Arabia except for these 3 states in the west, and if you also control Abu Dhabi, Qatar, and Kuwait, you'll be able to extend the Lasha Vilayet, give you cores on all of those states that you control, plus on top of that, give you cores on Asir, Makkah, Tabuk, and also Oman. And then finally, if you control Tabuk, Asir, Makkah, Medina, Yemen, as well as Aden, you'll be able to merge the Vilayets of Jeddah, Habesh, and Yemen. Yes, you get to core this state as well as this state 2 times. I know, right? Also, if you control Cyprus, Crete, the Dokonese, Aegean Islands, as well as Peloponnese, you'll be able to merge the Vilayets of Morea, Crete, and Kybris. And if you control the rest of Greece, all of Bulgaria, Macedonia, Montenegro, Albania, and according to HOI 4, all of the Serbian states, which are these 4, based, you'll be able to reform the Vilayet of Rumelia, giving you cores on all of those states. Finally, if you control all of Romania except for Bukovina and Bessarabia, you'll be able to restore the Vilayet of the Danube and Moldova. And there is one more decision that's left to do, and that's to enlarge the Vilayet of Bosnia. For this one, you have to control Bosnia, Herzegovina, and Dalmatia, and then you'll be able to click on the decision, which will give you cores on these 3 states as well as the state of Zadar. But wait, what's that? We still got non-core states. Oh yes, I forgot, you can also core these states. In order to core these states, they need to have over 70% compliance and less than 30% resistance. And then, at the tiny little price of only 200 political power per state, which is equal to annexing your subject almost, you can core these states. Yes, 800 political power to core 4 states with 1 million people with no factories and crappy infrastructure. Amazing. At the end of the day, your cores look like this, with a maximum core population of 95.63 million people. Anyway, that's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, like, share, subscribe, and see you in the next one. We're gonna cover the letter U. And, bye.